Hello everyone! We're already in January 2026 and there are a lot of great roguelike or roguelite games coming out. So for today's video, I'll be sharing the best new roguelike or roguelite games you should be playing this January 2026. Well, let's get into the list.
Dwarves!
Reincarnation Insurance Program is a top-down roguelite shooter that mixes Vampire Survivor-style chaos with Diablo-level loot addiction. Your job is to walk into screen-filling zombie hordes and erase them from existence. There's no hiding, no cover, just non-stop action. Kill enemies and turn yourself into a walking disaster. The zombie waves never stop. Slow walkers, fast mutants, and massive swarms will flood the screen. Survival isn't about being careful, it's about having enough firepower. What really sets this game apart is the loot. This isn't just a survivors-like, it's a gear-driven ARPG. You'll find hundreds of weapons and tactical items, and when you see that golden beam, you know something legendary just dropped. Watching your damage numbers explode is insanely satisfying. Frostrain 2 is a roguelike all about building smart synergies with a bit of management mixed in. The world is frozen, humanity is on its last legs, and you play as the final conductor of a moving train society. Your job is to keep your passengers alive and happy. Every run is about collecting, placing, and upgrading train cars. Each car affects happiness, which is the key resource that keeps your authority strong and your train running. The real fun comes from experimentation. You'll mix and match train car synergies with hundreds of powerful artifacts to boost happiness even further. Where you place each car matters, and upgrading the right ones at the right time can completely change a run. All in all, in Frostrain 2, you're not just managing a train, you're making tough choices. Quarry is an incremental mining roguelite where your goal is simple. Dig deep and restore the sacred Evertree. You'll mine, drill, and blast your way underground to collect powerful essence hidden deep within the earth. The deeper you go, the more secrets you uncover, from rare artifacts to valuable ores that make your journey easier and faster. The gameplay is where things really stand out. You're clicking blocks to clear them, but at the same time, you've got units working automatically in the background. The cool twist? You can directly control a unit during your run. So you're using WASD to mine with one character while clicking around to gather resources at the same time. It sounds chaotic, but it just works. Geometry Arena 2 blends deep RPG systems with roguelite action into one addictive loop, meta progression, and endless challenges. This is the second game in the developer's indie journey. Built on the foundation of the first Geometry Arena, this sequel focuses on fixing past issues and delivering a more complete and polished experience. What really stands out is how flexible the game is. You're given a lot of freedom to play your own way, whether that's how your character looks, how you build things, how you plan your strategy, or how you approach the game in general. It's worth noting that the game was made by a solo developer, so while it may not be perfect, the passion is clear. The goal is to grow the game together with the community, improving it step by step. Imagine a Balatro-style roguelike, but mixed with chess. This is Tabulo, a chess roguelike where positioning is everything. You carefully place your pieces to maximize your score, buy upgrades, gain powerful bonuses, and take on optional challenges. Even though Tabulo is clearly inspired by Balatro, it still feels like its own game, with a strong identity that stands out in the roguelike genre. What really makes Tabulo special is the physical board itself. Unlike similar games, you can move pieces freely, arranging them to boost how they score and how they help other pieces score too. Just like in chess, stronger pieces give higher points. The king scores the most, but only affects the tiles right next to it, so placement becomes a real puzzle. Balls Up is a fast-paced climbing game where every move matters. You play as a ball, rolling and jumping your way up tricky vertical levels. Along the climb, you unlock new abilities and choose different paths to reach the top. Some routes are safer but slower, while others are risky, packed with traps, but offer powerful upgrades. The movement is all about momentum. You'll need to time your jumps, control your speed, and react fast to survive. One mistake can send you all the way back to the start. The levels are filled with hazards, spinning traps, falling platforms, lasers, and more, constantly testing your precision and patience. Yeah, you'll fall a lot, but the feeling of climbing higher every run keeps pulling you back for one more try. Dungeon with Girl is a roguelite RPG where dungeon crawling and relationship management go hand in hand. You explore dangerous labyrinths, fight monsters, manage resources, and build a bond with your unexpected companion, Monica. The gameplay revolves around roguelite dungeon dives. Each run is built from random event cards, battles, treasure, traps, NPCs, and risky dice rolls. There's no traditional leveling system. Your power comes from equipment, skills, and how you recover between runs. One thing that makes this game stand out, though, is how relationships are tied directly to progression. Time spent resting and bonding isn't just story flavor, it helps restore strength, unlock bonuses, and prepare you for the next dungeon dive. Managing Monica's trust and well-being becomes a core part of survival. Roguejack 21 is a blackjack-inspired deck builder where every card you play can change the entire fight. Each battle follows the classic rules of blackjack, but with a twist. Every hit, stand, or double down triggers powerful effects that can turn the odds in your favor. You can think of this game as Balatro, but with blackjack mixed with the run-based progression of Slay the Spire. It takes the best ideas from both games and adds a few fun twists of its own. It's a bit more luck-based than those games though, but that actually works in its favor. The game feels more relaxed and chill, while still staying engaging and fun. I'd also love to see future updates add more card types and mechanics. ODDCORE is a run-and-gun roguelite that fully leans into being, well, odd. Everything from the weapons to the abilities gets weirder the longer you play. You start with a basic pistol, but before long, you're fighting hordes of enemies using things like a yo-yo or even a frog. There are 13 different weapons to unlock and master as you push through these strange, almost endless liminal spaces. After each run, you earn tokens for the arcade. This is honestly one of the game's nicest features. It's a fun way to relax after a tough run, with mini-games, prizes, unlockable weapons, abilities, and skins. The soundtrack is also a standout. You can import your own music, and some tracks even provide buffs that affect how you play. DunHero is an action roguelike where you pick a class, level up, collect powerful items, and fight your way through dangerous dungeons. You can play solo or team up with friends in up to 4-player co-op as you defeat bosses and try to save the world. To be honest, this game feels like a more approachable version of Tiny Rogues. A lot of its systems are very similar, and yeah, it clearly takes heavy inspiration. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you love Tiny Rogues, and like me, you're waiting for the next big update, DunHero is a nice way to scratch that itch in the meantime. It's fun to experiment with different classes, the price is reasonable, and the core gameplay loop is enjoyable. That said, if you haven't played Tiny Rogues, you should absolutely check it out as well. Blightstone is a challenging turn-based strategy game with strong roguelike elements. You lead a team of adventurers on a mission to destroy the Blightstone and cleanse the world of corruption. What makes this game stand out is its free movement, dynamic environments, and collectible skills. It feels fresh, unique, and surprisingly fun. For me, Blightstone scratches the same itch as Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers. You can clearly see the Darkest Dungeon influence in the art style and systems, but Blightstone gives players more tools and flexibility to deal with pressure and debuffs. Right now, the game is in early access, and only Act 1 is available. It's a solid start, but I do hope more acts and characters get added soon, since replaying a single act can feel a bit repetitive.
Carry it to the rift. Welcome to LORT.
LORT is a 1 to 8 player co-op action roguelite that's all about chaos, loot, and ridiculous power scaling. You team up with friends, fight through a cursed fantasy world, grab tons of upgrades, and slowly turn from a weak goblin bonker into an absolute god-tier menace. Gameplay-wise, it feels a lot like Risk of Rain 2, but with one big difference. This game is way more generous. There's loot everywhere, chests are everywhere, enemies drop items, challenges reward gear, and no one should ever feel underpowered. Unlike Risk of Rain 2, you don't really need to fight over loot. Everyone gets strong. All in all, this game is best played with friends. That's where it shines the most. If you enjoy co-op chaos, reviving teammates mid-fight, and laughing as your builds get completely out of control, LORT truly delivers. Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven is a DLC for Cult of the Lamb, one of the most beloved roguelites among players. This DLC is an amazing addition. You get incredible value for the price, especially since it actually feels longer than the main game. It doesn't try to change what already works. It just gives you more of what you love and somehow makes it even better. Everything fits so naturally into the world, it feels like it was always meant to be there. It's cozy, charming, and filled with that weird, wonderful Cult of the Lamb magic. The winter theme adds fun survival mechanics, and the new ranch system is both charming and surprisingly deep. And yes, the Snow Lambs and Rot Boys are absolutely adorable as followers. I genuinely recommend buying this DLC without hesitation. I seriously hope they never stop adding content to this game. Dwarves Glory, Death and Loot lets you build and command your own party of dwarves in a mix of RPG, roguelike, and auto-battler gameplay. You will manage formations, equip gear, and decide the fate of up to 10 bearded warriors as you lead them through reckless raids full of glory, death, and loot. At its core, this is an auto-battler where dwarves fight against waves of orcs. Each round, you roll through a random shop to recruit dwarves, buy weapons and armor, and choose which orcs to fight. Winning battles gives you gold and experience. Gold buys more units and gear, and experience levels up your dwarves. Simple, but effective. What's really cool is how far this game has come. It started as a simple flash game, and in just about a year, it's grown into something much bigger and more polished. Vital Shell is a survivor-like game inspired by the first-generation Armored Core, and it fully commits to that classic PS1 era vibe. From the low poly visuals to the gritty style, it feels like a game pulled straight out of the 32-bit era. And on top of that, it comes with a surprisingly good jungle DNB soundtrack that perfectly fits the atmosphere. The gameplay is fun and addictive, but there is one small downside. Each run is locked to about 20 minutes, and sometimes it feels a bit too short. Right when your build starts to feel powerful, the mission ends. I'd love to see optional 30-minute runs or extra difficulty modifiers to really push your build further. That said, at its current price, this game is an easy recommendation. For just $6, I can easily see myself putting 20 hours or more into it. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more exciting new roguelike and roguelite games. That's it, and see you next time.